Welcome back to the Wolf of Queen Street podcast series. Welcome back to the audio or the video series. One of the short podcasts for today, and myself, Lawrence Lodge, joined by Kieran Hedley, a NFT investor. And the question to you, Kieran, today is, what makes NFTs actually valuable? I mean, you've seen online things are going for like $1, and then the next day they're 100 grand and $1 million. What makes them that valuable?
Yeah, so many things, right? One thing is the social currency aspect. So for example, the reason why someone will purchase a Ferrari over a Toyota is because of the social currency concept, right? People are going to see that this person owns a Ferrari, therefore this person is wealthy, and therefore I respect this person, right? So that's sort of the quote unquote story that people will create, which is fantastic and has value. Now, owning something like a CryptoPunk, a Bored Ape Yacht Club, a VeeFriend, I own a VeeFriend, is going to also as well act as a social currency, particularly when glasses such as Apple glasses come out next year. Facebook's doing their own glasses. Of course, Google will as well. And what I'll be able to do is if you're wearing your glasses will probably, if you own an NFT, will be connected to your NFT wallet. I'll be able to see above your head your CryptoPunk, your Bored Ape Yacht Club, your VeeFriend. So I'll be able to physically see your digital assets that you own. And you'll also, which leads me to the second factor, which is utility. Many NFTs have their own utility. So I own a VeeFriend, which gives me access to a conference called VeeCon, which is over in Minnesota and Minneapolis, Minnesota. And only people that own one of Gary Vaynerchuk's VeeFriends can actually access VeeCon. And then also on top of that as well, he'll drop free NFTs into these NFT holders' wallets. He's got a particular piece of art within his project VeeFriends called Gift Goat, and he'll send 5 free gifts every single year to these people that own his gift goats, right? So I minted, in other words, bought from the source, a VeeFriend for 0.9 Ether. So that was around about 4,500 to 5,000 New Zealand. At one point, literally about a month ago, it was valued at $120,000 New Zealand. And that was over the space of 4 months, right? So you can see how crazy that these things can go, both through perceived value and then through utility. And the final one is the finite aspect of it. So there's only 10,255 VeeFriends, and because there's going to be an increased supply of people that want to go to VeeCon, that want the utilities and so forth, right? There's going to be a perceived increase in value because demand is going to outweigh supply, similar to Ethereum and Bitcoin.
So with the demand as well, going into this, going, cool, I understand the VeeFriends, right? And I understand Gary Vaynerchuk raising it and building it, and very smart way to do that, right? The only way to get through Gary is through VeeFriends and the purchase of that. But what about all the other ones, right? What about the I'm going to be really simple here because I'm not in this game. What about the monkey ones and the other really like the 80s? Sorry, the Bored Ape or whatever it is. I don't know. And the 80s pixelated versions. Is there a limited amount of those? So I understand we just more spoke about VeeFriends, but what happens if someone goes and mints or makes or does a thing of 10,000 different NFTs? Does it just mean that their one's not going to grow in value, or is it just that all of them are snowballing at the moment, sort of up at the point?
Yeah, so NFTs right now are the riskiest, to what I know, investable asset that exists. Like, it's just insane how risky it is. Most of them actually won't do well long term. And I already see that a lot of them are flopping. Essentially, people are investing hundreds or if not thousands of dollars. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, boom. Why? Because all of a sudden, people just suddenly perceive the value as nothing. And or the project managers all of a sudden just give up on the project because they're not earning enough. And because it hasn't been validated by OpenSea yet, they have that ability to completely let it go, which is pretty scary. So you want to make sure that you're looking for something with a blue check and or you trust the project manager or person or the team behind that. And then the final things that I'll mention around why it's so valuable is because if you think about the Mona Lisa, it's so valuable that even if I say took a picture of the Mona Lisa, it doesn't all of a sudden put value onto my phone, right? I actually have to physically own the Mona Lisa if I want the value of it. Same as Picasso, right? Someone can't just go and paint the exact same way Picasso did and all of a sudden have a painting that's just as valuable. It's going to be valuable, but nowhere near as valuable. So that's what people are trying to do with these NFTs, where they're trying to copy them. It doesn't instantly give them value because they're not within the original project, which is why there's so many variations of apes. You see apes all over. That's like the famous one. And then you see, variations of those 80 pixelated ones, such as the CryptoPunks.
And one other point I know people watching or listening at the moment will want to know is a lot of it as well just, I'm going to use social media out there. People going out there and it's the whole digital currency thing going, hey, buying this coin, it's going to go massive tomorrow. Is a lot of the success in a bit of that fakeness or that loading and that they're going to drop it, right? Just on a sort of a side note, there was a meme coin that came out for stupid Netflix series, red light, green light, or whatever it's called. And it just imploded yesterday with like millions taken off because it went up in the value and it just dropped out. Is a lot of the coins, the NFTs at the moment, is that this sort of the same thing people are seeing on social media?
Yes, exactly like that. In fact, I'd even argue right now, because there's between 50 to 100 projects, new projects coming out every day.
Yep.
I'm not sure in the crypto world if there's 50 to 100 new coins coming out or not, but essentially with that many projects coming out at a time, a lot of them are riding on hype because they'll hype it up. They'll make all these promises that they're not necessarily always going to fulfill, which is why you want to be careful with it. And this can really drive the hype. What you'll see is for a project that released yesterday called Fat Apes, it was an ape, minted at 0.3 Ether, which roughly was about 2,000 New Zealand-ish at the time due to Ethereum being 6.5K. And just before they revealed the project, so essentially by the sort of image that will be revealed about 24 hours later, depending on the project, and it ramped up literally within the space of 12 to 24 hours to about 0.75 Ether. So it more than doubled in price just in less than 24 hours. As soon as they revealed it, which was as of a few hours ago, it's dropped back down to the mint price, 0.3 or 0.35. So just above. So it's still valued a little bit more, but still what you see is that hype drives it. Then it drops after the hype dies. And then that's when you sort of see the real perceived value to start to come into play. But of course, if there's no actual value behind it, and it's only riding on hype, yes, it will flop completely. And I've lost some money in that before too. So be careful.
Thanks so much for that, Kieran. And for anyone else that has any questions around NFT in this space, don't come to me. Reach out to Kieran. His details will be in the description. He also runs an NFT podcast. It shows people how to get in the game, more about it, and more details as well. So he's the person to talk to as an investor that knows what's going on, especially in the New Zealand market or Australasian market. If we seem to be full to the archer of what's actually going on, he's the man to go to. And to everyone else, thanks so much as well, Kieran, for coming over, and see you guys all next time.
Thank you very much.